Hello, little miners. Welcome to Miss Camille's Art Loft. We're going to be making a frog on a lily pad, and the frog is made out of your handprint. The things that you will need is a paper plate. I actually think the ones with the little fluted edges and that are really flimsy are a little better, and they look cooler in my opinion, but this is what I had. And you'll need a pair of scissors. You'll probably need your mom or some adult to help you because you'll need adult scissors. You'll need some green paper. You're going to trace your hand. You'll need some tissue paper to make the flower. I have yellow and white, but any color is fine, whatever flower color you want. I have the eyes I made out of buttons. You don't have to use buttons. You can cut them out of paper. You can paint them, whatever you want to do. And then I have a marker. I have a black and a red one. You can also use buttons for the mouth if you want to use a red button, or you can cut it out of paper. Either way. So we're going to start with what you need to do for the plate. All I did was cut out a triangle, and that made the shape of my lily pad. So if you can cut it out, and if you've got the flimsier paper, you can cut it out. But this is pretty thick. So you might want to have mom or dad or some adult draw a triangle. I'm just going to trace this, not that you'll have a tracer, but just so I can do it really quick. Draw a triangle on your paper plate so that you have something to trace. They can just start from the middle of the plate and go out in another direction. And then you have something to follow when you're going to cut it. And you should probably use child scissors, but just go ahead and cut along that line. And after you're done cutting it, then you're going to paint it. Now tempera paints, the liquid paints work a little better, but if you don't have them, you just make do with whatever you have. Get a really nice big brush, get it in the water, get it in your paint, and then of course paint all over until your lily pad is completely covered. Then you might want to set it aside to dry. Rinse your brush in between. Make sure you always have some paper towels handy that you can dry your brush and make sure you get all of the paint out of it. You can see I still have paint, so I still want to rinse, rinse, rinse. And then the more I do that, then I get the paint out. So after you've rinsed your brush, painted your paper plate, you're going to need some help with this. You want to stick your hand down on your green paper and have mom help you, or dad or some other adult help you trace around it. So just put your hand down and they can help you trace around your hand. When you get to the end, you're going to have to finish it off. Mine is super big, so I have a really big frog, and I just drew over the top. Then you cut it out, and you glue it on your paper plate that has already been painted. You put on your eyes. You can draw a big smile. You can draw a red tongue, or you can cut these out. You're done with your frog part. Now, probably the trickiest part of this is the flower, but it's really fun to do. So what you're going to do is, I have a little center in mine. You can see that it's yellow. And so I took some yellow tissue paper that was already folded, and you can see I cut a square out of it. I'm going to do that again so you can just see exactly how I do this. So maybe mom or dad or some other adult can draw where you would cut the square. You just cut a small square out of the tissue paper. And I'm going to set this down because I'm done with the yellow and I need as much room as I can on this. After you've got your small square, you've got two pieces of small squares here. You just fold them over, making a rectangle. Fold it again, making a square. I have the main fold right here. Fold it one more time and it's a triangle. So what I did with my triangle right here is I'm going to cut little strips because I want my middle part, and I don't cut all the way through. I'm just cutting little strips part way down. I want my middle part to be kind of all fluffy like that. I'm going to set this down for just a minute because now I'm working on my big white petals. I did half a tissue paper sheet for this flower. This is the other half. So it's in a rectangle shape. Fold it into a square shape, and we're basically just doing the same thing. Then I'm going to fold it into a rectangle again, and fold it into a square again, And I can even fold it into a triangle at this point. This is where most of the folds end, so that's my point. And you know what I think, well, I'll just go ahead and cut this and then I'll put the center in. So as I cut this, I'm coming up here, the fold is down here. It's kind of like a snowflake, and I'm cutting curves. So I just cut a curve, and then I cut another curve, and if I want, I can cut a little tiny one right there. Well, I'm going to open this up because I want to put my center in the middle. So if I open it back up, I can put my center of the flower right there in the middle, and then I am going to fold it back up, grabbing on that center and bringing the tissue like this, and I'm twisting it on the bottom where all of those come together. If you want, you can staple that. I'm just kind of fluffing it out so it looks like a lily. Then I take some nice Elmer's wet glue and I glue it on the bottom. And of course, I stick it on my lily pad. I'm going to put it on this one so it has 2 flowers on the lily pad. So I hope you have fun, little miners, hopping around and making a frog on a lily pad. Goodbye, little miners.